The main problem in the relationship is that the coupleship is on a roller coaster, so to speak. In a case where there's a roller coaster of expectation mismatch, the couple is still officially committed to the marriage. Husband and wife living in the same house. There's no affair, no discussion about divorce or separation. There is officially commitment from both sides. They want to work on it. They're both sincere. The problem is both husband and wife have different expectations of what they want from the marriage, of what they want from themselves, from each other. When you have a situation of a mismatch, what you're going to notice is that the couple will have more than just one area where they're not on the same page. It's not going to just be, oh, we just disagree in how we communicate or in how we raise our kids, or we just disagree about how we communicate in front of our kids or in finances or about intimacy, or we just have occasional blowups or disconnects or shutdowns or disrespect. It's never one thing. It's usually going to be a handful or more of problems. And what that tells you is that there is a mismatch on a deeper level. For example, if a couple just had a problem with intimacy, but otherwise their marriage is fine, otherwise the relationship is fine, they're getting along well, they understand each other, they have good communication, they have a good, healthy level of trust, there's no fear lurking in the background, there's no conversation about divorce, but they have a struggle in physical intimacy, right? That's not called an expectation mismatch. That's called a problem. Lots of couples, lots of marriages go through stages where they have a problem and they fix the problem. Then they may get another problem and they fix that and they move along. In the case where you have a roller coaster of expectation mismatch is because there's a deeper mismatch on a root level, which is causing multiple problems. And those problems will surface in many areas. It will surface in communication, in intimacy, in trust, respect, finances, kids, all the things I said before. Not necessarily all of them, but a bunch of them. The reason why this is called a roller coaster is because it feels like a roller coaster. It's up and down. The couple never get to a place of a stable, consistent feeling of connection with each other, of happiness together, of just a joint understanding of what they're doing together on a consistent level. Another reason why I call it a roller coaster is because just like any roller coaster, you can't get off once you're on it. It seems in these relationships that they're stuck in the relationship. Part of it is because they want to be there. But part of this is because they just don't know how to navigate their lives and is compromising or bargaining away their happiness. Let's talk about the husband. The husband is like just surrendering and saying, okay, I'm stuck here. I'm going to go for the ride, but I don't like a lot of this. But some of it I like, but some of it I don't like. And it keeps on going back and forth. So I call it a roller coaster. The mistake a lot of husbands fall into when they're experiencing this roller coaster, and again, this roller coaster can go on for years and decades. So you can have a couple of weeks of up or a couple of weeks that are down, or months up and down, or even sometimes it's sharp. It can fluctuate daily. The mistake a lot of guys make is that they fall into the trap of believing that if I do everything my wife wants, we'll be okay. And by the way, the mistake I'm telling you right now is primarily for people who have this roller coaster of expectation mismatch. But for the guys who are already separated, or there's a conversation about separation, or there's an affair going on, or your wife is completely checked out, you will still gain from understanding this principle, because in order to heal your marriage, you're going to have to know this at one point or another. So the mistake that happens over here, the husband falls into the trap of believing that if I do everything for my wife, she'll be happy. Like if I help more around the house, and whether I help more with cooking or cleaning or dishes or laundry, or I just do everything she says, just to make it simple. For some guys, it's just, let me just do everything she says. I can't go wrong. That's the belief. It's actually not true, but that's the mistake guys fall into. Or if I just provide more, make more money, spend more money on her, take her out for date nights, be more present with the kids, be a better dad. None of those are bad things. But if you're in a roller coaster marriage, it won't fix it. And the reason why it won't fix it is because if you have a roller coaster marriage, there is typically a root issue, a fundamental issue that is disconnecting you and your wife from each other, which is resulting in these multiple mismatched expectations, multiple arguments, many misunderstandings. And by working hard and doing a lot to please her, you're actually going to undermine yourself, because first of all, you're not looking for the root issue. You can do everything she wants and she still remains stuck. She still remains emotionally stuck. Whatever that stuck means for her. Stuck might mean that she still doesn't appreciate your effort, or that she's still unhappy, or that she's still frustrated, or that she still feels disconnected from you. You know what I mean? You can do all those things, everything she wants, and help around the house, be a good dad, good man, good provider. She'll still stay stuck. Number two, when a couple is on that roller coaster, a woman can very quickly and easily, and this drives men crazy. I know it drove me crazy when I went through this. Your wife can just change her expectations on you like this. So she can tell you, do this, all these things, follow this list. You can do this list. You can execute it well like a real guy. Focus on it, get it done. I did everything on the list. And then 2-3 months later, she could just say, hey, you know what? I actually want you to do this, all these things. You're like, what about all this effort that I made? Did this ever happen to you? Put it in the comments. This is very fundamental to understand, because this is a mistake. It's a trap you fall into, and you can't get out of it if you don't understand it. Number three, she can very easily blame you. Let me know if this happened to you, where you can do the list, and then she can blame you. Even if she doesn't change the list, she can tell you didn't do it correctly. You didn't do it the right way. You didn't have the right attitude. How many times did that happen? There's something about your attitude that just, if you ever heard that from your wife. And then problem number four, when you stay stuck in the place, in the mistake of, I got to do everything she wants in order for us to be happy. And if I do everything, then she'll be happy and we'll be happy. And it'll be all hunky-dory, and we'll just have this great connection, emotional connection and communication and understanding and alignment and intimacy and all that great fun stuff. Since that doesn't work, and the reason why it doesn't work is because there's a root issue typically, which causes the changing of the list, which causes the mismatched expectations, which causes the misunderstandings and disagreements and the disconnects. What happens is, this doesn't happen to all men, but it does happen to quite a few. A guy will very often say, I give up. And when a guy says, I give up, it doesn't mean I give up on the marriage. Did this happen to you ever, where you say, I give up, not on the marriage, but I give up on just trying to be good? Why be good? Why make the investment? Why spend the time? Why put in the effort into the relationship if anyway, no matter what I do or don't do, it still doesn't work? She's still not happy. I still can't please her. I can't seem to connect with her. And what happens then, it's very subtle, but it's actually very dangerous. The guy starts giving up. And women are not stupid. They're actually very emotionally intelligent. They feel it. They feel if you give up. Now, I'm not judging you for giving up, because I've been through it. I've seen hundreds of men go through it, and I understand it. But the reason why you're giving up is because you feel there's no point to just keep doing everything she wants, because you've done it and it doesn't work. It's a natural coping mechanism to back down and say, hey, you know what, I can't do this, because you can't get, here's the bottom line. It's not possible to stay, for most men that is. Some people are okay staying in, I should say some, quite a few people are okay staying in a miserable or mediocre or dysfunctional relationship, as long as they're still married, as long as the kids get to see or feel that the parents are together, whatever value that means. But for a lot of guys, it's not possible to actually stay and be happy in a roller coaster marriage, because it's actually unrealistic and it's unhealthy, and it's an unhealthy pressure on the husband to do everything his wife wants him to do for the sake of keeping her happy, when it doesn't really work anyway. For all the reasons I just said, because she still stays emotionally stuck, she still changes her list, she still keeps blaming, and eventually he just starts giving up. So that is something that you really have to understand about the roller coaster of expectation mismatch. But this is fundamental. You guys have to understand this. You don't get to that situation overnight, and there's a process to turning it around. But you first have to understand it, and I'd love to hear in your comments, what is your takeaway from this training, what you gained from it? It's really important to understand this principle, because the mistake a lot of guys make is they try to plunge into guessing, and just trying to do things. It's like a whack-a-mole situation. It's not even like a logical mistake, because they logically know it's not working. It's more of an emotional trap where they feel like they have no choice. They might as well just do what she said, because they have no other option. But there are other options. And the other option is getting to the root of the issue of where that disconnect happened, why it's there, why is it still there, what are you doing to keep making it worse, and how to turn it around.